everybody. Welcome back to Gamer Bros. Except today, there's no playing, there's mainly just talking. So, you see, I had a pretty exciting Bedwars run with me, Sharky, a little someone called an engineer, and then of course another person on our team. But of course you shouldn't really get to know them very well because don't spoil too much, but it's kind of short that you see them. So anyway, we were just in the lobby and we were just going around. Of course I was trying to do parkour. We were all really excited, but then we began. The game was clearly going to be starting soon. The engineer was already going down to check things out. Sharky was hanging around a bit. So obviously, first thing that I did was went to get some items. After, of course, I looked at our teammate Zick, who just seemed to be standing there. So, well, I got a bit of iron just so, I could actually get blocks, defend our bed, all that, And, well, I was just hanging around there, really, when suddenly Zick just comes to life and begins punching a bunch of flowers. Like, seriously, what the heck was he doing? Are you trying to get, die or something? I honestly don't know, but the first thing that I did after I got enough iron was I got some wool to defend our base, of course. So I got right down there with Sharky, and I got to building. I began placing down wool blocks to protect our bed along with him, and I'm not gonna lie, it was actually going pretty good. Our bed was getting strong. It felt like we could actually do this. And then, of course, I ran off to continue bridging, as Zick had already made quite a bit of progress. To be honest, not very much progress, but whatever. So, I immediately began bridging out, and, well, of course, I came to this place. And once I could get up, well, I was able to get emeralds. So, obviously, I went to get some emeralds. And, while looking for a spawner that actually had some, I eventually actually found one. Here. But, of course, I got it. So, what went wrong? Well, what went wrong? I went to grab a second emerald, but it was stolen from me. I tried him a bit, but it was obviously no use this early in the match. So I decided to head back to base. Once there, I got to work. How did I get to work? Someone was attacking our base. Me and Sharky were fighting it, and I managed to get a stone sword from that. Then someone else was there. I quickly went fighting, and, well, to my surprise, they got in. So, yeah, it was a little chaotic. But Sharky managed to finish her off. So, once we were finally finished, I decided to head over to actually get some diamonds so I could get better gear, better weapons, all that. But I only got one diamond. I decided to hang around there for a little bit longer so I could get another diamond. And, well, I did. But, of course, eventually I had to go back to base. So I got heading there and, well, I decided to go to the island, but then decided to go back to base. It had already been a very chaotic game, so we had to get ready. We had to constantly be on our feet. We had to be up quick. And the suspensions had already been getting upgraded. So, I got some things, bought a few things that I could, of course. I spent a bit of time looking throughout this, couldn't get an iron armor set. So, well, I couldn't get it. So basically, I couldn't really get much things at all. So, well, things were going bad. We were under attack. Someone was getting to our bed now. So we had to attack them. Things were clearly getting so dangerous. I died. But it was finally, and thankfully, Zick and Sharky managed to finish him off. Oh boy, we would have been dead without them. Thankfully, though, we were able to actually survive the attack. And after we survived it, we didn't repair a thing. and we really should have repaired a thing.
Huh?
You'll see in a minute. I couldn't exactly get any weapons from the shop.
Huh?
Not an iron armor set, nothing. So I decided to go back to getting more things, and then headed right back to the shop to see what I could get.
Huh?
And, of course, I still couldn't get anything. So basically, what happened was, I got a stone sword, closed the shop, got back to get more things. But I never, ever boarded up our base. So our bed was destroyed, and Pam was smiling and someone else were here, along with someone else. I ran out of our base as fast as possible, and Engineer was already dead. As I ran across the path to hide my diamonds, Sharky also bit the dust. So it was only me and Zick left. What was I gonna do? Well, I ran over to try to ambush Green's team. This was a bad idea. So I just decided to hide here. I decided not to do much. One of the guys saw me, but I quickly shook my head no, and, well, he just stood there, staring at me. He caught someone else's attention, and now 2 members of the green team were interested in me. But, of course, one of them lost interest almost immediately, but the second one was actually fine. Then Zick arrived, being chased by another yellow member. I immediately took off because I did not want to die. As I was running, Zick died, and it was only me left on my team. It was my job to make sure that we stayed alive, not anyone else's. So I took things as serious as anyone else would. I immediately ran to my base and hid. I hid good. For the next, what felt like hour, I was just building up constantly until the base was perfectly safe, which was basically never perfectly safe for me, because I just kept on building. I first started by boarding up all the places up front, that way none of them could see me, and at least it would be a little trickier for them to get in. I started up by building this up the side, not only the staircase, except I did get to the staircase pretty soon, and once I got to the staircase, well, I did pretty good, I guess. So, of course, I wanted to build up the front. I knew that they would still see that I was alive because they saw that the team wasn't quite eliminated yet. But, hey, at least I thought they'd think that I was out doing something. So, well, I just stuck to boarding up everything until it was finally complete. And this took a while. It was basically a transition from using up all of my blocks and then buying more blocks. That was basically all that I ever really did. And it was quite exhausting. I would get things, organize my inventory on occasion, and just build. It was basically just building that I ever really, truly did. It was pretty boring, but hey, it helped keep me alive. I thought that eventually the teams would just kill each other, and then by the time they came to me, I'd deal with it then. And, well, let me just tell you, I did very good. Although the building was pretty slow at some times, I did fairly good. And, well, I'm not gonna lie, I really do like my work. If only I could go back to it now. The only way to go back to it now is just watching this video right now with you, which I'll settle for. So, of course, it took quite some time, but as you can see right now, I have a lot of it boarded up. Then I decided to get the staircase boarded up. I knew the people would actually be going up through this, so I decided to use my diamonds to buy some deep slate, because the deep slate would make it so much harder for them to get through. Then, of course, the blue team's bed was destroyed by that paneled smile guy who was over there earlier when my bed was destroyed. And then, as you can see, the blue team is already dying off very, very, very quickly. Already 2 of them have died, and it's going to be a while until they all die. But, hey, it's going to happen. So, of course, I was out of wool and all that, so I had to go collect up more things. And then I bought a bit more wool. And then, of course, I got back to building. I got right back to building, and, well, I did good. So, of course, I got up there, and I just continued doing what I did best, which was basically just building up this wall that way no one would see you. Now, I get that they could just, like, bridge up, I guess, to get out of here, but, hey, I at least did good. So then once that was finished, they couldn't see me from up there. They could still see me from the stairs, plus they could still access the stairs. So I had to get more deep slate. I used up all the rest of my diamonds to create this. I just kept on building up the wall until it was complete, which actually used up a lot of the deep slate, not all. So once I did it, well, I would say I'm quite proud of my work. Then though, I had to get done what I would do here if I ever decided to go down for more diamonds. So I built up using the rest of my deep slate a little staircase. Once I got inside, I realized something. I would have to make it so they could not access inside, but I could. So I decided to use up some wool and build another wall. And as you can see, officially, the rest of the blue team has been eliminated. Well, not quite. There's one left, like me. So, yeah. I got a lot of wool, and yeah, then the blue team was eliminated. Panel and Smile did it all. Yeah, I feel like Panel and Smile was the one who was the worst, but honestly, I don't really know. So, well, with just 30 seconds until sudden death, the pressure was really, really on for everyone but me, because I was already in sudden death, so basically, if anything, it was going to be good. 5 seconds, and boom, sudden death hit. So I just stuck to building as usual, continuing as always, and then was when I did quite possibly the worst choice of this entire game. You're gonna find out in just a minute. Trust me. You're gonna. So I was getting out front to get a few more diamonds, things like that, because it was sudden death. The tensions were really, really high. But so yeah, I made that tricky thing as you can see, but I got there, and well, I saw a yellow team. So I went back, and I thought that I could make that corner as I did last time, but I didn't. I fell into the void and I died. How could that one little slip up do all of that? Well, I had made it that far, so I decided I might as well spectate the rest of it. You can see here, Painter Cow is just preparing as sudden death is active. I followed Painter Cow for a while as they went into what looked like the former blue base, and this place looked like a war zone, which I guess it kind of was. I could see where their bed had been crafted, and where there were several wool everywhere, and I could see another person also using the place as a base, I guess, temporary base. And then Painter Cow, as you can see, is running out. I guess not, but so obviously a lot of stuff had happened. An entire war likely had broken out on the blue team while I was just boarding up my base. Then, oh boy, you can see Painter Cow and Taken Lawyer fighting the green members. And oh boy, was this epic. Taken Lawyer makes a run for it and dashes across. And of course, Minty attacks them with a fireball, which initiates war. Taken Lawyer is the first to run onto the scene, followed by another member. And of course, the battle begins. With constant attacks, and oh boy, something's happening. As you can see, paneled, Taken Lawyer, Painter Cow, and just basically all of them are fighting. Cammy Star placed down a totem, but it was not enough. It exploded, which led to the most epic finale of all time. And as you can see, there are only 2 green members left, yet still 4 yellow members. Okay, there's only one left. Minty is taking a dash, but yet Minty is dead. The yellow team won. Quite an epic war, if I do say so myself. And hey, we at least got 3rd place. See you everyone in the next video.